Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Football. My name is John Halpin, alongside my brother Chris Palma. How you doing today, my brother?
Doing good, man. Here we are. Super Bowl's here.
The Super Bowl is here. The stage is set, and the teams have been decided. It is the Patriots and the Seahawks for a Super Bowl 49 rematch, now for Super Bowl 60. But these are two completely different teams. Man, we had a great championship weekend, too, with a great slate of games. Chris Palmer, you ready to get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
So before we get right into it, we do want to mention, please like and subscribe if you enjoy any of our content. We always appreciate the support on the channel. So let's just get right into the championship recap. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but we had two games between the first one being the Broncos and the Patriots, and the second one being the Rams and the Seahawks. So let's start in the AFC. Broncos, Patriots. This was a very tight game. Patriots won 10-7, but Chris Palmer, what were your thoughts on this game?
This was a fun game to watch. You know, both teams are great. Both defenses are great. Both defenses came out to show. The offense of the Broncos was missing their captain. I almost feel like if Bo Nix was on the field, we would be having a different conversation. Of course, that is going to be a major what if of this year, is what if Bo Nix stayed healthy for the AFC Championship. But big, strong win for that Patriots team. Mike Vrabel, big shout out, being the first coach ever to be a player and a coach to bring the same franchise to a Super Bowl. So shout out to him. Shout out Drake Maye. This is his third year and he's Super Bowl bound.
Second year,
right? He's a sophomore. I'm sorry. Last person to do that to memory in my memory was Ben Roethlisberger. Not putting him in the same conversation. I'm just saying the same thing happened.
I think
Roethlisberger was a sophomore when he made his Super Bowl debut.
I think Russell Wilson was also a sophomore when he won his Super Bowl.
Was he?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, that's good company to be in as a young quarterback.
There's a few of them, too. Tom Brady was also in the same category, too. So his sophomore year brought him to a Super Bowl. But, you know, hey, to your point,
that's a good company to be in.
It is a good point. And now let me ask, does this kind of lean in towards an inclination of Mike Vrabel Coach of the Year?
I could say so. The turnaround that the Patriots had with his entrance in almost no time at all is unbelievable. Like, I think it pretty much goes without saying that he could be Coach of the Year this year for sure.
Yeah, he really could. Now, CP, before I get into it, I want to ask, what were your thoughts on Jared Stidham's performance in that game?
Jared Stidham's performance, it really came to as no surprise, right? First couple drives he did good. He had a great big throw in the beginning of the game, but then what happened? Halftime hit, and there was a halftime worth of film to watch on him. He showed like he can play in the first half because there was no film on him. The man hasn't touched the field in 2 years. So it was still like new territory for both the team, both Jared Stidham and for the team playing defense against him. Jared Stidham, you were asked way too much of you. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one bit. They asked way too much of you to go out there and try and win an AFC Championship game when you haven't so much has taken a snap with the number one team in 2 years. You kept it close and you kept it competitive. That's about all you can do.
Pretty much. I mean, it was close, 10-7, very, very low scoring affair. And you could kind of see as the game got on, right, you kind of felt that it was going to stay a low scoring affair throughout the entirety of the game. Both defenses, excellent performance by both defenses. And honestly, it's like, if you're like us who enjoy to watch defensive football, that was the game. That really was, because there were plenty of big stops, big sacks, and, you know, big shout out to Christian Gonzalez for intercepting that ball right at the end there, just sucking any hope Denver had from that. But like you said before, this was a big ask for Jared Stidham. It's a big ask for any backup quarterback to be like, hey, you're starting in the AFC title game. Good luck. Against, oh, by the way, the number 4 ranked defense in the league. Good luck.
Best of luck.
That's hard. That is hard. And I think everyone who's not a Broncos fan has that same thought of, if Bo Nix was playing, this would have been a different game.
No, that it would be, it maybe It's a
It
maybe.
would have been
It's
a
because that's
different
still
game.
uncharted territory for Bo Nix too.
It is.
So no one knows Bo Nix in the AFC Championship. So it could have been a different game. So it's a big what if. What if Bo Nix was there? Well, then you can start talking about the hypotheticals. The offense could have been more on point, but it was 99% healthy going into that game. It is a 52-man roster. We've been saying it all year. It can't be one person. It's the same problem with the Bills and Josh Allen. But the Broncos have a better rostered offense. I'm sorry, they have a better rostered offense.
The Broncos?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they have a better rostered offense to get the job done.
I think they have a better
You know,
defense to get the job done.
by far,
Yeah.
and it's not close.
And like the defense held up their end of the bargain. Like if you were to tell
They showed up to play.
yeah, if you told any Broncos fan where it's like, look, we're going to hold the Patriots to 10 points, you're going to
You
think
think you won that game,
exactly.
right? But it's someone on that offense needed to step up and make a play. I get it. Jarrett Stidham is not that guy. Someone needs to be like, show me the ball and let me help you help us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No one did that. No one did that. It was just, I'm going to go out, do my job, and hope that Jarrett Stidham does his job. And Jarrett Stidham, unfortunately, he is, as of right now, he is not a starting quarterback in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Where he'll be a couple of years down the line because he is still young enough to develop somewhere. Denver, I don't think, is the place. But who knows? We'll see what happens with his future.
Yeah, I mean, he might just be a perennial backup quarterback, right? It's possible. It's more than probable, especially after this performance. But I think.
But then again, they said the same thing about Sam Darnold.
That is true, and we'll get into that. Like, we'll definitely get into that. But I think the biggest thing for this game, I put this loss at Sean Payton's feet more than Jarrett Stidham's feet, and the reason for that is when the Patriots, to get I guess into a little more X's and O's, right? The Broncos' first two drives, they were able to move the ball very well. And like before halftime, there was no snow in the forecast. After halftime, it snowed pretty well in Denver. It was looking pretty white. But in the first half, after those two drives, what the Patriots did was they stacked the box. They stacked the box at the line of scrimmage and they made it hard and they sent blitzes and made it very hard for Jarrett Stidham to do that. To move the ball down the field because you're forcing your quarterback to make quick decisions and quick throws. And for someone who hasn't played in 2 years to make quick throws and quick decisions, it's not always easy. So the Patriots did a great coaching adjustment to really combat Denver. But the reason I blame this on Sean Payton was there was a moment in the second quarter where as the game got on, both teams struggled moving the ball. But the Broncos were able to get into Patriots territory, and Sean Payton elected to go for it on 4th and 2, if I'm not mistaken. Could have kicked the field goal to go up 10-0 at that point in time. It did not work out on that 4th down conversion. Of course, hindsight's 2020, but CP, you know me and my philosophy of take the points when you can.
Well, you and I have similar philosophies with that, where it's just empty brackets don't win games. It's just, if you're in scoring range, you need to score, whether it be 3 or 7. So with that, I agree with you. So one way or another, that will come back to bite you. You miss a field goal, you don't go for a field goal, you should have. You know, it's just what it is. Empty brackets do not win football games.
And I'm honestly, that's well said, and it's true because no team has won a game scoring 0 points. I mean, we've seen teams score, have a touchdown and win. There have been like 7-0 games before, but you at least need to score something to win. But that's something
Right.
for Sean Payton where it's like, look, you're this offensive guru that everyone, highly respects and knows that he is at the top echelon of coaches. But that was a coaching error right there. In a game where you should have known that like how the game plays out, and we can see how the game plays out in real time. And it's like, oh, this is going to be one of those low scoring affairs. Whereas opposed to, the second game, the NFC title game, it's like, oh, this is going to be one of them shootouts. And so we had two totally different style games on Championship Sunday. But the nature of the game plays out in real time.
Yeah, no. And as for this NFC championship game, fucking absolute shootout like you were talking about. 100% a dogfight. Shout out to both teams. Unbelievable victory for Seattle.
Yeah, so I guess let's just go right into that recap too, where Seattle beat the Rams 31-27, and again, great offensive showcase by both teams. Sam Darnold he had like 340 something yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception, and he played fantastic. He played his best game of football up to his career at this point. And Matt Stafford, he played exceptionally well as well. I think the biggest reason that this game became the way it was is because the Rams defense just did not have it. And not taking anything away from Seattle's offense, because Seattle has a great offense, great players there, but man, the for the last 2 months the Rams defense has struggled to stop teams from scoring.
Yeah, for sure. We were watching that happen pretty, like you were saying, live action throughout the rest of this regular season. The Rams were letting up a lot of points, and they were letting up a lot of points late in games. So, but it was interesting to watch the game-winning drive happen against the master of the game-winning drive, Matt Stafford. Man, I'll be honest with, I still think Matt Stafford gets that MVP title.
I totally agree with you.
I can't say that there's any other quarterback that earned it.
Again, Drake Maye, he comes in second. He comes in honorable second, but it has to go to Stafford. It just has to.
I think even Drake Maye, I think he's comeback player of the year at best. At best, he's comeback player of the year. Matt Stafford is so clear-cut MVP this year because of just not just how well he plays, the way he keeps that team together, even in like the worst of times. I think you and I spoke about the video that Devontae Adams was talking about. He was talking to someone else. Stafford it was during the divisional game when he made the game-winning touchdown, game-winning drive.
Oh, okay.
He looks at Devontae Adams and he goes, "Let's go steal their souls now."
Oh, yes. That's cold.
And then he comes out, and then he goes out and does it. That is some gangster shit.
No, for real though. For real.
Like, that is some savagery. Like, we are going to go and we are going to ruin this whole team's day. And then you go out and you do it in less than 10 plays, mind you. In like perfect fashion, you just go and you do it.
In freezing weather, in below degree weather.
Correct. So hats off to Matt Stafford on an unbelievable season. I hope to see him again next year. It will be a stretch if he does make it to next year without retiring.
I mean, I think him and McVay probably have the same mindset of like, look at how good of a year you had. Like
how can we not do
you
this
think
again?
You're just going to plummet like that hard? I mean, it's possible, right? But it's like, is it probable? Probably not. Like, he's still probably, even if he doesn't play at this caliber of tier, Matt Stafford is still, I think 90% of teams would want Matt Stafford as their quarterback.
Hell yeah, dude. What? I think there would be people who would give a lot away for Matt Stafford right now.
Absolutely. And again, I would have loved to have seen him in the Super Bowl. I know we posted our picks online last week. You picked the Seahawks. I picked the Rams. We both picked the Patriots, of course. But again, this was one of those games where I could have seen it gone either way. Like, either team,
happy with either outcome.
Either of these teams deserve to go to the Super Bowl, and I'd be fine with either. And I'm not mad whatsoever that we get to see Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, because it's great. One last thing I'll say with the Rams, though, they did make a big coaching mistake towards the back end of the game, as we talked about with Sean Payton before. In the second quarter, in the fourth quarter, the Seahawks were up 31-20. The Rams got the touchdown. However, they did not go for the 2-point conversion. That, I think, was their biggest flaw. Because if they would have gone for the 2-point conversion, you make it a 3-point game. And if Matt Stafford has the ball with some time left, which he did, he got him down to the 50-yard line. If he was able to kind of get it a little bit more to field goal range, where you just need a field goal instead of a touchdown, I think that makes a huge difference in the outcome of the game or where it goes. But for them to not go for that 2 point conversion, that you're saying that when you get the ball back, you're going to need a touchdown regardless. So if you're down 27, if it's 31-27 or 31-26, you're still going to need a touchdown. But if it's 31-28, you just need a field goal to tie.
Yeah, but you're missing the fact that Seattle has an unbelievable defense as well.
They do, yes.
So I can understand the hesitance to go for two at this point. It's like we have the guy who can get us a touchdown regardless, right? What if we miss and then we miss this 2 point conversion and then it's just a touchdown to tie?
If you touchdown to tie,
Because we need the 2 point convert. Right, it's 31-27. Right? We got the touchdown. We miss. It is now 27-31 still. You still need the touchdown to win. Sorry, I was wrong. But you get it. You said it's a field goal. You have the guy who can get you a touchdown regardless. I don't understand. I can totally understand the skepticism to go for two against a defense that is like Seattle's right now. I understand the need for points, but when points are looking at you, regardless, 1 point isn't a make or break on a touchdown necessity. You know what I'm saying? Especially when kicks aren't as there's no gimme field goals
anymore. They're not guaranteed. No, you're right. But I think that at that point in time, we saw that points were not scarce in this game as it was for the AFC title game, right? And we see the Rams able to move on that Seattle defense. If I was Sean McVay, I would have had more confidence in the offense to want to go for that 2 point so that you don't put yourself falling too far behind when time is against you. That's kind of my point.
I understand, but it's the idea of, again, it's aggression versus being conservative and trying to leave the ball in your best player's hands with enough time on the clock. So while I understand the idea of wanting to be more aggressive there, I also understand the skepticism of we only have so much left in the tank. It's late in the game. If we miss this, it's going to take a lot more energy to miss than it is to get it. And then there's really not going to be much left to help defend and then move down the field again, regardless.
Well, if they miss the 2 point, again, they're still going to need the touchdown regardless. So
right, but they're still going to have to make the offensive drive down the field. Yeah. And now they're going to need the touchdown if they miss versus if they get it or if they just take the field goal. The offense has that extra half a play where they're not on the field burning the energy they need.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
It's because there's only so much energy left in the tank at the end of the game. It's every play takes that much more as it gets later.
It takes more, but they needed it though. They needed every bit of it. They needed every bit of that energy within them.
But how much more of that energy would have been expended if they missed?
All of it, Chris Paul.
Right, and then you have nothing for a game-winning drive.
You're still gonna have to get it. You still have to have it though. But I get what you're saying though. Everyone's human. They're human, right? They can only do so much.
Correct. Can only do so much.
But hey, it's gonna be interesting to see the Rams next year. It's going to be interesting to see the Broncos next year with a healthy Bo Nix. But, man, we got a good Super Bowl ahead of us, too. And I'm looking forward to Super Bowl 60.
Super Bowl 60 is going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Before we get into the Super Bowl, we just wanted to also just give a brief update on some coaching vacancies that have been filled. Typically, the Ravens and the Steelers have both been filled from our vacancies. Steelers' new head coach is now Mike McCarthy. And the Ravens' new head coach is Jesse Minter. But CP, just brief thoughts. How do you like Mike McCarthy as the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I'm interested. I'm just going to leave it as I'm very interested to see where he brings his team. Mm-hmm. He has a history of Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania that I did not know. He has a good enough record after taking, I don't want to say good enough because that's where I don't want to get caught. I'm hoping he's able to move the needle. Mm-hmm. He has a good reputation as a coach with a year off. He took a year off. He seems like it kept him with the light of wanting to coach. I'm keeping an eye on his coaching tree. We'll see how that goes as he formats who he wants to have underneath him, and we'll go from there. But it's an interesting light not seeing Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, you trade one Mike for another Mike. So it's just
Yeah,
gotta love the mics. I personally, at least for the Steelers head coach, I love Mike McCarthy as a head coach. I liked his time in Green Bay. I liked his time in Dallas. I thought he did a great job, especially in Dallas too, working under Jerry. But uh, I'm very interested where it's like the Steelers kind of need to rebuild, and yet they're very patient with coaches. I'm surprised they went with an older, established head coach and not like the Mike Tomlin route as they did prior of getting a young coach and giving him a long leash to develop a team. So I was kind of curious by that decision by Omar Khan and the Roonies. But like you, again, I'm interested. I don't think it was a bad move by any stretch, but I'm curious to see where they go from here, especially if Aaron Rodgers does decide to come back with the Steelers.
that would be very interesting if Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers were to have a reunion. It didn't really end on the best of terms in Green Bay, if memory serves correctly. You know, there was kind of, again, like Aaron Rodgers is doing his thing now where he's just disappearing into the OTAs and shit like that. And Mike McCarthy was not a fan of it in Green Bay. I can't see him being a fan of it 10 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if memory serves me right, I think like at that point in time when McCarthy was kind of ousted, it was because of complaints that the offense was stale. So, which is ironic because when he went to Dallas, they've had pretty much like a top 10 offense when he in his time in Dallas. So I am curious to see how the offense looks with them with under Mike McCarthy and how the defense looks and any moves that they try to make in this upcoming offseason.
I'm also interested to see what Mike McCarthy has to do with Will Howard. He says he likes what he sees. He likes the potential in Will Howard. And when Mike McCarthy is saying he likes a quarterback, that's saying a lot because especially judging by the report card of QBs that he's worked with.
Mhm.
Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. You know, that's a very small room, but it's a very competent room. So if he sees potential in you and he's willing to work with you, I like it. I like Will Howard.
I'd like to see him try to develop a quarterback, right? And it not only does he like Will Howard's name came up in that press conference very
A
frequently,
lot.
very frequently. So I would not be surprised if at any point in time next year we see Will Howard start some games, even if he's not day one starter. He'll probably get some playing time next year.
I could see him working his way to QB1 during this offseason if Aaron Rodgers doesn't make a comeback.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
That's a big if. If Aaron Rodgers decides to tie up his shoes and he says, I'm done, this is Will Howard's team. That's my thought process on it.
And we'll have to see what that looks like because there's a new era in the Steelers, new era in the Ravens. We're done with Tomlin Harbaugh, man. It's scary.
How do you feel?
I I'm again I'm interested, but it's one of those decisions where it's like the Steelers need to rebuild. They went with an older coach. The Ravens want to win now. We went with a younger coach. So to me, it's like I'm curious of both of the decisions that the organization made. But at least for Jesse Minter, in all respects to him, he's not too far off from John Harbaugh because he's from John Harbaugh's coaching tree. He was a defensive assistant from 2017 to 2019. He went to Michigan under Jim Harbaugh when he in his time in Michigan, and then he followed Jim Harbaugh to the DC of the Chargers last year. So I don't disagree with the pick. I'm just curious to see how he's able to lead this group of men and especially if he's really able to connect and to relate to Lamar, because that's the big thing. Is like Lamar was a big part of this hiring process, and Steve Bisciotti made it clear of it. It's like, look, if they're calling me up from Florida to do interviews, you can either hop on my jet or find a way there, but you're going to be there to talk to these candidates. And for the Ravens to get Jesse Minter, I think that says that they see something in him that they value. They've and I think that one thing that set up in his press conference and Steve Bisciotti's press conference was the word culture. And I think that they feel that he emulates Ravens culture and what it means to play like a Raven because he's been under John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, and just knows this family dynamic and this family's passion for football.
I just hope that sticking with a defensive minded head coach doesn't stagnate you guys as an offense.
I hope
You
so
know what
too.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
oh, of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Again, nothing against John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin. They are two defensive minded coaches that just lost their job.
Well, Harbaugh was a special teams coach, so he wasn't really that on the defensive side. But you're right, though. When you hire a coach that specializes on one side of the ball, you don't want to see the other side black.
Right, especially when the side that is lacking is so top heavy with talent comparatively to the other side of the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Especially like you guys in more specifics than us. You guys have a lot more talent on offense than we do. Reeling in Lamar is going to absolutely be the hardest job that he has. They have to get each other on the same page. And how old is this coach?
I don't know offhand. I could look that up real quick. But
Yeah, because I think Lamar's 29.
yeah, Lamar just turned 30 a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So if he's younger than 30, God help him. Because now he's going to have to try and
He's
reel in a
42.
30. Okay, fine. Great. Then you should know how to reel in a 30-year-old man with his emotions and frustrations. Hopefully Lamar Jackson does some growing over the offseason and he learns how to move past things that happen on the field that you cannot control. You know, like if you overthrow a ball because either the wind, something happens while it's in the air, you can't control it. Please don't get frustrated over it next year. Or even if you do make a mistake as a quarterback, you're a human being. Mistakes happen. You have to get over it. You have to move on. The fucking game doesn't end until there's no numbers left on that clock. You cannot put the towel in because you throw one interception early on in the game. If your day is done early in the second quarter, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I hope that for your guys' sake that your coach is able to get him past that as an adult and as a football player and as a grown man. Just move past it. And then we can start fresh, and now we can really be off to the races.
I'm not sure that's something that will change with Lamar, unfortunately. I mean, we talked about this for a while, where it's like, look, personal growth comes from within, right? And if Lamar really wants to change his attitude while playing, he's got to be the one to put in that work. And Jesse Minter, he's a head coach. He's not his dad. So Lamar has to be the one that understands where it's like, okay, let me keep my composure. Let me not get too frustrated. Let me get even keeled again just to stabilize. Jesse Minter's got to be the one to be like, okay, look, you're good. I'm going to put you in the best position to try to succeed. And that's all we can ask for with Jesse Minter. It's just making sure that he puts the team in the best position to succeed. And I'm also curious to see who he picks as offensive and defensive coordinators. Right now, they're vacant at the moment, but that will really dictate a lot of where the team goes into next year.
Yeah, should be interesting. I saw today that Mike McCarthy actually signed Patrick Graham, former defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders, as the Steelers' defensive coordinator. So don't know too much about him. Did a little bit of a background on him. His report card isn't the greatest, but he also has a history with Mike McCarthy. He is a predecessor of Mike McCarthy's coaching tree. He acted as a linebacker coach and run game coordinator in Green Bay in 2018. So maybe they'll be able to get on some type of wavelength again. So we'll see what happens. There's a couple of people who are prospects for OC who are also in Mike McCarthy's former coaching tree. So it should be interesting.
It should be very interesting. I'm curious to see how McCarthy Minter is that rivalry is going to shape up come next season.
I just hope it emulates like what Steelers and Ravens football just legacy wise looks like on field. You know what I'm saying? Like Harbaugh and Tomlin helped elevate this rivalry. I hope they help elevate it further for years to come.
Yeah. I hope so too, man. And it's funny because look, when you say it to players, and I guess it may also apply to coaches, is like, you're not really a Steeler until you play the Ravens. And you're not really a Raven until you play the
until you
Steelers.
correct Mundo. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them still got to get their feet wet and tread in those waters. I know Mike McCarthy has had a history. He played Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. It is not playing at home against Baltimore or on the road against Baltimore.
It's very different. It's very, very different. But I'm excited for it. I think we're going to have a great season in the AFC North next year. A lot of big coaching vacancies happening this year. Big names, big organizations. And we're going to get to all of that probably at some time after the Super Bowl in the offseason when we discuss probably free agencies, some trades that happen, and of course fill in all the coaching vacancies because there's a lot that happens in the offseason. But it's not quite the off season just yet.
Still got 2 more games if you count the Pro Bowl, which we don't.
We don't count the Pro Bowl here. We got one more game.
It's one more real game.
And that is Super Bowl 60, my friend.
I cannot believe we are at Super Bowl 60.
We've had more Super Bowls than presidents, my friend. But nevertheless, this should be a great, great Super Bowl. I'm excited for it. But CP, just start us off, my friend. What's going through your head when you hear Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl 60?
Well, as this playoff bracket was starting to really unwind, right, and get together, you just get to the divisional round, and you're like, oh, here come the Seahawks. Everyone's looking over here, looking at the Seahawks. Another 14-win season for Sam Darnold. First quarterback to do it with 2 teams in 2 seasons. He's back heading towards the NFC Championship, and he's playing great football. And then you look over to the left, and you see New England. And everyone is trying to sell them short throughout the year. They're not playing great teams. They're playing teams that have fired coaches. They're playing teams with problems. They're winning. They're in the playoffs now. They beat the Bills in impressive fashion. And here they are now. Drake Maye, like I said before, probably comeback player of the year. Playing out of his mind. Honestly, even Sam Darnold could be comeback player of the year. Again, he arguably played out of his mind this year. The way these teams have elevated from last year to this year comparatively is unbelievable. I love the way these 2 teams match up together. The energy that is coming from New England is radiating like it used to be. And I don't think people are really expecting it because it's starting as a slow hum. It's not as abrupt and in your face like it was decades ago. This was an under the radar thing. And those are the ones that stay around longer. And those are the ones that hit harder. So I just want people to prepare themselves for what could very much be on the way. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to put it in the fucking universe because if I'm right, everyone's going to look at me and wonder why I opened my fucking mouth. But understand, the under the radar things are the ones that hurt the most. Everyone saw the Seahawks with Sam Darnold throughout the year. That was in your face. There's no denying that. The Patriots flew under the radar this year. Everyone sold them short, and here they are.
In the Super Bowl.
I love this game. But I hate the potential of what can come of this game. And again, I'm not even going to say it.
It's like Beetlejuice. You just don't want to speak it into existence.
Nope. Because, again, football fans aren't ready. The wound is still open for a lot of people.
Sensitive topic.
Sensitive topic. People are literally saying the Seahawks are going to win because fuck the Patriots. Still, to this day. That man hasn't played for a Patriot team in fucking almost a decade.
Mate, just call me out, why don't you? That's literally me. Like, go Seahawks, fuck the Patriots. Like, just call me out, why don't you?
It's not just you.
I'm just saying.
It's almost everybody that I hear about with the Super Bowl, man. It's like, damn. It makes me laugh. It's so funny how open this Patriots wound still is.
Everyone's tired. It's like we just are so tired of this team. Like, but they're just. But
it's like
they earned it.
But you couldn't accept it throughout the year that they are here and they are here to stay. I'm telling you, they're here to stay.
I can see that. I can absolutely agree with that. I think the Patriots are here to stay, and I think that if you are to. When we go into next year and we start talking about like the top teams in the AFC, like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, we have to include the Patriots in that conversation.
There's no way they're not in the conversation again.
Because they proved it. They proved it this year. And they went from 4 wins last year to, 13 to win their division?
13. Yeah.
4 wins to 13. Absolutely incredible. only a handful of teams have ever done that kind of turnaround in NFL history, and it's so great to see. Now, before I continue, CP, I just want to ask, and there is no right answer to this. You know how last last year we said that it's the year of running backs, right? Because we saw a lot of running backs change teams
Yeah.
and run. If you were to say this is the year of blank, what would you say this year would?
Mm, like, that's a good question. What really stood out to me this year was the overall work by the tight ends. I feel like this year was a big tight end year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big tight end year. It was a big defensive secondary year for a lot of teams too, but it was more so, it wasn't really a specific position. It was more which team plays together the best. So it was the unit. What is the best unit
Mm-hmm.
now? That's what I saw mostly this year. It wasn't like a this is the blank position year. Whose group is the best is really the blanketed statement for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because each team is flawed, was very publicly flawed this year. But it was which teams worked past their flaws and still played better together. So that's what I liked about this year. A lot more than years past.
I like it. I like that. And you're not wrong by any means, because you're right. It's the best teams are the ones that won. For me, I'd say this was the year of coaches, because we have seen so many coaches this year alone turn around struggling franchises. Look at Mike Vrabel. Just think of the 2 weeks ago when we recorded how many times that we said that this coach could be coach of the year. This coach could be coach of the year.
Yeah.
This coach, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Liam
Liam
Cohen,
Cohen.
and we have to add Mike McDonald to that as well.
Absolutely.
Have to add him to that as well, to again just completely change the culture of the Seahawks. And this year has really emphasized that it's like, if you get, sometimes where you need to be is not where you are. And we've seen that with coaches where they are is not where they need to be. Mike Vrabel, he was great in Tennessee, but he needed to be in New England because he needed to lead this group of men to play their very best, because under any other head coach, it may have been completely different. And he is an indictment of how good coaching is this year, because we see that with, again, and I'm just kind of honing in on the Patriots, but yes.
He is also the epitome of how necessary a coach is. Now, you look at the teams that don't have the coach necessary for the problems at hand, right? Look at Detroit. I love Mike Vrabel. I'll sing his praises every day on how good of a coach he is. He still has the same issues. Still has the same issues where he does not know how to control himself. He, as a coach, needs to be reeled in so that emulates on the field. That is not a good quality. That is a problem that he, as a coach, is presenting to himself.
You say
And
Mike Vrabel or Dan
presenting
Campbell?
Dan Campbell, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Dan Campbell in Detroit as a head coach. Him not being able to control himself is emulating onto the team to the point where they now are hyper aggressive as a unit. For a coach to change a culture of a team, you need to bring minimal transferable issues that start in the locker room.
Mhm.
Now, I had this conversation off air at work with a coworker of mine. Mike Vrabel is doing a very good job in New England by saying, this is my house.
Mhm.
I helped build this house. I'm going to show you guys what it took to build this house, and I'm going to show you guys what it takes to defend it. And I think the stature and the respect that he is held to because of how many times he's gone to the highest game with this team, with the same owner and the same coach and everything that's gone around with it, and who he's played for, who he's played with, the team has gravitated to that almost instantly.
Mhm.
It's the same gravitational pull that Dan Campbell had
Mhm.
in Detroit. I played for this team. I was on the 0-16 team. I know what it's like to suffer. Mike Vrabel's on the other side of that coin. He goes, I know what it's like to succeed, and I want to get back there.
Mhm.
Mike Vrabel's playing on, I want to get back to success. Dan Campbell plays on, I never want to suffer. So that's the difference in how their control is,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. Absolutely.
It's almost like Dan Campbell is so afraid to fail he has no choice but to keep going as fast as he can. Whereas Mike Vrabel, he knows what it's like to succeed, so he knows the formula to control the chaos of a season. And that's why we are where we are.
To your point too, where it's like controlling the chaos of the season, the Patriots throughout the year, they won a lot of games this year by letting other teams beat themselves. And they're and winning is a skill because you need to, as a team, have the same vision, same drive, same goals, and minimize mistakes. And Mike Vrabel understands that where it's like, we're not going to play bad football. We're going to play good football, and we're going to take advantage of when the other team beats themselves.
Because they will make a mistake.
And you could look to any Patriot game this year, but I would like to look at all three of their playoff games, and the teams that they played basically imploded playing the Patriots. Some even before the game even started. Broncos. That's
unfortunate.
That's out of their
unfortunate
control.
circumstance, right?
Texans. C.J. Stroud just melting down.
Played his worst game ever.
And Justin Herbert's offensive line couldn't protect.
Forgot how to play football.
Yeah. So if you look at the Patriots, for me, I've been very skeptical of them as well this year. Like you said before, like there are a lot of people that doubting them. I don't doubt them, but I think it is fair to criticize again their schedule. However, they're not. They have proven that they deserve to be here. If that makes sense, because you play who's in front of you, right? They don't choose who their opponents are. They just make sure it's like, we win this game, we go to next week. We win this game, go to next week. And is it their fault that a lot of these teams fired their head coach and lost some of their quarterbacks and shit like that? No, it's not their fault. But they were, took advantage of opportunity where it's like, look, we're not going to play bad football. Whatever problems you guys have, you have.
That's all you. Y'all. We're just going to come here and play a game.
We're playing our game. And if you want to play with us, you can. But that's it. And so, again, for me, I still think it's fair to criticize the schedule. However, they have earned the right to be here. And especially in the playoffs, because the team has played its best football in the playoffs. And I think a lot of their success throughout the regular season was Drake Maye in that defense. However you want to split that pie of credit, I think in the regular season it was probably a little bit more Drake Maye than the defense. However, in the playoffs, the defense has really stepped up, and Drake Maye he's kind of dipped a little bit. He's turning the ball over frequently in all three of his games, but the defense is putting up their part. They are doing exactly what they need to do as a unit. As you said before, the best units, the best teams, secondaries too. And New England has that. New England has a great secondary.
Yeah, they do. They might have the best cornerback duo in the league currently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no bullshit. But that Seattle defense is nothing to trifle either. So I love this matchup because it's like, again, the Seahawks are just as dangerous as the Patriots, but the Seahawks have just been in your face all year. So everyone knows how dangerous the Seahawks are. No one knows how dangerous the Patriots are. The Patriots defense has been playing great this playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the offense was playing better during the regular season. What if that comes together?
And it very well could. It very well
could.
It's
in everybody's face against a team where it's been in your face all year. That is fireworks, my dude.
Oh, it's going to top any Super Bowl in that regard. I think getting to Seattle, and I want to, Sam Darnold aside, the Seahawks are going to be the Patriots' biggest challenge all year by far. And
bar none.
And because of their defense, their offense, just the team as a unit. Like, I don't think the Patriots have an equivalent game of an adversary against them as they do the Seahawks. Maybe the Bills, because the Bills did beat them one time. They split the series, Patriots-Bills. But even still, the Bills, very flawed team. Not saying that Seattle isn't. Seattle's a flawed team as well, but man, they are going to give the Patriots a run for their money. They are absolutely going to give the Patriots a run for their money, and that's because, again, the great units that they have. And believe me, if we get the best of Seattle's offense and defense, and we get the best of the Patriots' offense and defense, by God, we're in for a classic. We are in for a fucking classic of a Super Bowl.
It'll go down as one of the best Super Bowls of all time.
Which is crazy because the Super Bowl 49, the last time these two teams played each other, is kind of considered one of the best Super Bowls of all time.
With one of the most controversial endings of all time, of course. But
yeah.
But yes, hands down, that is one of the best. In the Super Bowl era, it is top 5 Super Bowls of all time.
It's up there, man. It's funny because Brady's in just a lot of those games, right?
He's in most of them.
He's in most of them. Like the 28-3 or the shootout with Dick Foles.
Right.
So I think the Patriots are going to be in, this is going to be their biggest challenge. And I'm very excited to see them step up to the plate against Seattle because they are more than capable of stepping up to the plate. But I want to get to Seattle real quick because this team was a sleeping giant. And I know you said that they were loud all year. They were good all year, but they didn't become great until where they put themselves on the map, beating the 49ers week 18. Because they could have easily lost that game and had to go on the road throughout the whole playoffs. No, they beat the 49ers in a statement game. We are taking this division. We are taking the first seed, and we have earned the right to host our way to Santa Clara. And they crushed the 49ers in the divisional round. Very loudly. And then they were in that absolute shootout with the Rams.
Yes. No, I agree with you. Those were 2 exclamation points that they put at the ass end of a season that they were fucking beating people up all year round. They were putting 35 or more up all year, holding 40 minutes of time of possession. They were dismantling teams all year is what I'm saying. Those 2 at the end absolutely solidified them as Super Bowl contenders, possibly for years to come if they keep Sam Darnold. It would behoove them to get rid of Sam Darnold.
Before I forget, how sad or how much regret do you think the Vikings have right now in not re-signing fucking Sam Darnold? They have to be kicking themselves.
I want you to know I'll never understand that type of decision. This guy just brought us 14 wins. I understand you guys have who you think is your future with JJ McCarthy, right? Respectfully. Number 1, the kid is clearly, durability-wise, he is not up to stature. Ball IQ-wise, being able to read a playbook and read a defense are clearly not coming well to him. The kid's struggling overall. Sam Darnold brought you 14 wins with the same team, almost verbatim. I would be screaming at my GM every day as the owner of the Vikings. Every day until this season's end.
You think Vikings owners are even going to watch the Super Bowl, or you just think they can't bear it?
No, they're going to watch it just to increase the verbal assault that comes the day after the Super Bowl if the fucking Seahawks win.
Well, it's funny, too, because I guess Jets fans are also getting living vicariously through Sam Darnold right now.
I saw a discrepancy. It's like, if you're a Jets fan, do you love this Super Bowl or do you hate it? And
I feel like they'd love it for Sam Darnold and the Seahawks.
It's like a split. It's like some people think it's a nightmare because it's, the Jets got rid of Sam Darnold, blah, blah, blah. He could have, the delirium Jets fans. And then you have the realistic Jets fans where they know Sam Darnold would never bring you a championship because he would never have any support. So you go and you watch him and you enjoy watching him play football to the best of his abilities because this year, every single week, he has played better. He had 1 or 2 clunkers where the ghost started coming on the field, but I'm pretty sure he's fully grown past that now. So go enjoy him, watch him play elsewhere, like New York sports fans do when it comes to stars.
Yeah, it seems that whenever anyone leaves New York, they just have a tremendous amount of success.
It's a theme with most New York sports, and it's fucking hysterical.
It's hilarious. Also, on the Seahawks, another former Jet, Leonard Williams, tearing it up on the defensive line for Seattle.
Tearing it up.
He's not only a unit on there, but he's a leader. He's a leader for the Seahawks, much like Sam Darnold as well. And it's like, again, why people are finding success outside of New York? I don't know. Maybe you get too much
Maybe
bagels. Too much bagels.
Structure and culture, bro. It's too much schmear.
Too much, not enough schmear on the bagels.
Or too much schmear on the bagels. I started getting fat and slow.
See, that's not a bad theory. I'm just saying that's not a bad theory. I do want to say, I think Sam Darnold, the story of Sam Darnold's career is one of the greatest redemption arcs in sports. And I don't think that it came to fruition up until, again, this year. Last year, much like as I was saying last year, it's like, I want to see you do it again. Because you know me, I was very skeptical on, it's like, okay, is this actually him, or is this just the product of like where he was? This was him. And it took him some time to beat. And much like we said with Mike Vrabel, like sometimes where you are is not where you need to be. And Sam Darnold has proven that too. He is the first quarterback in NFL history to take a team to a Super Bowl on his fifth team. No other player in NFL history has hopped teams like him to find a home and bring them to a championship, to bring them to greatness. And it's a story that in the NFL, it's, again, we have not seen that. It's what makes this season so unique. This season of football has been so great because we have seen things that we either rarely see or have never seen. Again, how rare is it that a 4-win team last year's in the Super Bowl this year with under the Patriots, right? And for the Seahawks, they've been, again, they were a sleeping giant with Geno for a little while, right? They were kind of fringe contender.
It's like a flash of life.
They were like fringe contenders, kind of like with Brady and the Bucks, right? For with Jameis, they were kind of like on the fringe, 9-8, 8-9, but they had a lot of talent. And then you get the quarterback that fits in like a glove, and he takes you to where this team can go. And that's what we've seen with Seattle too. It's like, and I remember probably like even 2 years ago, you and I, we were talking Seattle. It's like they have great players. They have great players, and they have like all these young players. Tariq Woolen, I know Michael Jackson. He's off the team now, but Julian Love as safety again.
Kenneth Walker,
former New York Giant Julian Love. Do want to mention that too. So another former New York sports star, but Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet is out, but again, Kenneth K9.
Tyler Lockett still Seahawk?
No, he went to Tennessee.
That's right. He is a Titan now.
But JSN emerging, Cooper Kupp just
Cooper
having
Kupp.
a revenge tour apparently. So, and it's all come together, and it's so great to see. And you could say the flip side on with the Patriots, right? It's like they just needed the coach, and the Seahawks just needed the quarterback, and now the people where they needed to be have found their homes, and we get to see the best of the best duke it out in the Super Bowl. This season has been absolutely incredible to watch.
If there was anything to take away from this season, it would be do not underestimate anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't underestimate anyone. Everyone, myself included, we all underestimated Liam Cohen. He changed the entire dynamic of Jacksonville. We all underestimated the injury bug. San Francisco got hurt all over again. Just about the entire team. Kyle Shanahan still was able to bring that team to the playoffs and made Mac Jones look like a fucking starting quarterback.
I know, right? That's crazy.
We underestimated the Colts owner,
Carly Ursay-Gordon.
Look at how she's turned that franchise around.
I do feel for them with the injury to Daniel Jones. That was very, very rough.
But
that's freak. That's just
I feel bad to a certain extent. I feel like we've spoken about this.
We have.
He should not have been on the field with a fucking broken leg.
Totally agree.
It's just, that was a dumb decision. You cannot leave it in the players' hands when it comes to playing. Because they'll play every time.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they'll play, and it doesn't matter what the fuck the injury is. So I feel bad to a certain extent. That was a sideline decision that they gave to a player, and that was the outcome.
Yeah. I also, to your point, just came in my mind, people underestimated the Panthers too.
That one felt good.
That one was nice. I like that one.
That one felt good. The Panthers becoming a playoff team felt good this year. You know, I still feel like maybe I'm still doing the underestimating a little bit. I still kind of feel Bryce Young is the quote unquote weak link on that team,
Mhm.
but he has definitely earned another year as the QB1 at the very least.
I think so too. And we did spend some time talking about the Panthers as well. Again, I don't underestimate, but I need to see more to see if it's again the anomaly or the new pattern.
I
And,
need to see substantial growth.
and I need this consistency. Consistency is the key.
Hmm. I agree.
But nevertheless, Panthers Super Bowl 61, that's going to be next year.
Yeah, right.
I mean, anything is possible, mate. We're in the
The,
land
land-
where this season anything is possible.
the landscape is all brand new, bro.
It is great, and man, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. We are in for a good one. So, Chris Palmer, I gotta ask, who you got?
Final who you got of the year.
I know the final one,
It's
but
like
I need to know.
how before I do this, I want you to know it has been an unbelievably fun year again.
It has.
To do another season. This season was a roller coaster. I expected nothing less than to watch a full team go to the Super Bowl. The healthiest teams are in. These teams stayed healthy relatively throughout the year, one or two hits throughout the year, and that was really it. The conditioning of these two teams are bar none. Sam Darnold is a trendsetter and a culture finder. He helps turn teams around. He elevates people to who they want to be. Mike Vrabel stepped into the coaching position in his long lost home in New England. Tail of the tape is great, matching up these two teams offensively and defensively. But in the nature of not underestimating people, I think I've got to break some hearts here.
Oh, I think I know who you're going for.
The New England Patriots are bringing home another Super Bowl.
Ooh, they get the seventh. They get
They get the seventh.
Oh,
They make it to seventh heaven, bro.
they match Brady in Super Bowls.
Yeah, they do it. The most patient owner in NFL history will take another one.
So let me ask, what's your reasoning behind that, though? And also, what's your score prediction?
Well, first, my score prediction 24-17. It's going to be a very close game throughout. But I think that defense in New England is going to cause fits for Sam Darnold. This is uncharted territory for just about everybody on the field, right? This is not uncharted territory for the coach of New England. Pretty sure this is uncharted territory for the coach of Seattle.
This is his first Super Bowl.
This is his first Super Bowl.
Yep.
I believe this is Mike Vrabel's fourth Super Bowl appearance. So he knows what it takes to shake these jitters out. And I think that is it's not much, but it is that little bit extra that is going to be needed to win this game, is going to be how to keep yourself composed, how to control yourself through this chaos, because this is the most chaotic game of the year and it's not close. So with that, you got to give me New England.
I love it, man. I love it. And it's, again, you can make an argument either side, right? It could go one way or I could see this go either way because both teams are just that good. They just are that good. Is it going to end on an interception on the goal line? Probably not.
Hope not. Let's hope not.
Let's hope not
Tyler
again.
Lockett, because Kenneth Walker is too strong of a running back.
Yeah, he's not
He's
Marshawn
too
Lynch,
strong of a
but
running
give
back.
it to him, though.
No, but he's way too strong of a running back to do that.
He reminds me of Doug Martin, the muscle
He
hamster.
reminds me of Curtis Martin.
Ooh, that's a name.
He reminds me of Curtis Martin.
I like that. I mean, I could totally see that. I could absolutely totally, because again, he's that shifty power back. If there's ever
Or
like a
Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
Like, he reminds me of Sean Alexander a lot, especially unironically because he's a Seahawk.
he fits the uniform very well.
He really does.
He really does. Man, this is tough. I thought we had hard games to decide earlier this year, but man, this might be the hardest.
Give me the score first.
31-21.
Ooh.
Not a blowout, close, but then one team
10-point game.
A 10-point game, but one team's gonna break away at the end. At least in my thought process.
Does Sam Darnold get his one?
I gotta see the redemption arc, man. I want to.
Oh, you gotta see it come full circle.
I want to see this redemption arc come full circle, and I'm taking the Seahawks.
Listen, I love it.
I
love it because I want to see it too.
I want to see it.
I want to see it.
And again, I'm not saying that no player, no person does not earn the right to win the Super Bowl. But if there's ever a story in the NFL that we can look to years from now and say, look, let's never underestimate a player, because we underestimated Sam Darnold, and it took him 7 years to become who he is, I think that sets a great precedent of, again, to develop and be patient with quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, but just in general, where it's like, look, take your time. You will get to where you need to be when you're in the right place. And I think that, again, everyone deserves to win the Super Bowl, but man, Sam Darnold, I think through his journey, he really, to see him hoist a Lombardi, I'd like to see that. And again, before Josh Allen and Lamar in the same draft class, crazy, right? Like, but it's a great story in the NFL. The Patriots as well, where it's like I like these Patriots a lot more because they're a lot more likable. they're they're a lot more likable. They are like I love Mike Rabel. I like Drake May. Hell, I fucking love that Stephon Diggs and Cardi B are fucking chilling like on the sideline. Fuck Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. We got Stephon Diggs and Cardi B. Hell yeah. But man, this is going to be a good one. I'm excited for it. Seahawks 31-21.
Very nice. Well, there you have it, guys. The biggest game of the year is set. The board is set. The match is written. Let us know who you got. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Super Bowl Sunday is not far away. Thank you guys for another season, and we will be back as soon as the off season begins.
We will be back. See you then.